I'm delighted today for the first time to be able to have the Weather Channel have a look at what's happening for the first time in history, actually, in the high seas.
Thank you so much, Ghislaine. And we've got wonderful new technology here at the Weather Channel, and we are able to deliver a point forecast for the Arctic high seas. Temperatures will, for the most part, only get up into the negative 20s Celsius through the entire week.
On July 2nd, 2020, an arrest was made.
FBI agents arrested Ghislaine Maxwell yesterday, nearly 1 year to the day after Epstein was arrested.
All signs pointed to this particular incident being the story of our time.
I think a lot of people are wondering, the big question overall is, what does Ghislaine Maxwell know about what Jeffrey Epstein is alleged to have done?
Unfortunately, most of the public opinion in the U.S. is controlled by media corporations. So as soon as the coverage of Ghislaine's arrest ended, social media stopped discussing it, and the coronavirus took center stage.
The Dow is set to open about 15 seconds from now. It is expected to surge on positive coronavirus vaccine news. You can watch the big board as it opens this morning.
But among all the gossip and brief media coverage, a crucial aspect of Maxwell's story has gone largely unnoticed, the implications of which, and the groups that surround it, are as vast as they are mysterious. This is Ghislaine Maxwell's TerraMar Project. According to the New York Times, TerraMar was a, quote, opaque organization that had no offices and gave no grants to other organizations. And shortly after Jeffrey Epstein was arrested, TerraMar officially announced their closure. But what was the TerraMar Project? At first glance, it would appear that the now infamous Ghislaine Maxwell had a soft spot for the environment.
We have created 5 gigantic gyres of plastic and garbage that swirl in the open ocean. This is the largest fishing net. It fits 12 Boeing 747s in its mouth. We don't know very much about the ocean, actually, it turns out. Less than about 1% of it has been explored. So however you feel about the creatures in the ocean, the more of them that we have, the better, the healthier, and the more resilient is our ocean.
One can easily agree with the sentiment of protecting the environment. But as you're about to see, Maxwell's TerraMar Project isn't just about, quote, protecting the oceans, but controlling and owning them.
So the ocean is the next frontier. It's the next big debate. It's the next big grab of space.
The person who has been the inspiration behind the Sustainable Oceans Alliance, who has something called TerraMar Project, she controls the oceans around the world. And therefore I invite my dear friend, Ghislaine Maxwell, to tell us how we can own the oceans. You have 3 seconds. Thank you.
I'll do my best.
Ownership and control of the world's oceans carries with it all kinds of possibilities. Most of the human population has no idea what's going on in the depths of the sea. Maxwell, however, knows a thing or two about the high seas.
Started when I was a little girl. I grew up watching Jacques Cousteau on TV and became mesmerized with the oceans. It led to me becoming a deep worker submersible pilot.
But surely Ghislaine's ties to child trafficking have no relation to her, quote, TerraMar Project. But this perspective begins to break down as soon as one browses the individuals and groups associated with the organization. According to Maxwell's recent testimony, Jeffrey Epstein supplied her with funding for TerraMar. But that's obvious, right? But if we move along, we see that this picture shows Maggie Nixon with Barack Obama. The same Maggie Nixon pictured here. Who was in a film that was created by oceanographer Sylvia Earle.
Ever since I met Sylvia, I was absolutely enamored with her. Just really inspired with her love of the ocean and of exploring and creating like short films for each hope spot.
Great to see you.
You know, there's so many of your constituents who are out there that most people don't even know about.
I had a question for you, and that is, what's it like going down 1,000 meters?
I'd love to show you.
Huh? I mean, I've done some diving, but I think right around 100, I kind of say, okay, it's time to turn back.
This is the same Sylvia Earle that in early 2019 said, quote, "I am thrilled to be a founding citizen of TerraMar." Maggie Nixon was the granddaughter of Agnes Nixon, creator of the soap opera All My Children.
To you, Agnes, Susan.
And is the daughter of Sarah Nixon, who can be seen here tagged with a group of apparent friends. Notice the name Sarah and the username 3-Ring Circus. As you can see, the username checks out because we can verify that 3-Ring Circus on Instagram is in fact Sarah Nixon. But what's the big deal with this picture? It's certainly not suspicious to hang out with friends. Well, given that I've already been kicked off YouTube, now I can show you who Sarah Nixon appears to be having a lot of fun with.
Owner of Comet Ping Pong in Washington, D.C. James, thank you so much for being here.
This insane conspiracy idea filled with just lies about this impossible international conspiracy of human traffickers involving Hillary Clinton.
It goes without saying that Alephantis surrounds himself with the highest of the elite class, many of whom mired in patterns of apparent Satanism and human trafficking. A rabbit hole I won't go down again, with the exception, however, of one of Alephantis' friends, Matt Hollenby. Matt is the program director of the Weiss Foundation, another, quote, nonprofit dedicated to protecting the environment, most notably the oceans. The Weiss Foundation receives its grant money from Oceana Incorporated, which is owned by the Pew Charitable Trust. And who runs the Pew Charitable Trust?
Tamara Lozado. Tamara, welcome.
Thank you.
Tamara is currently the Senior Vice President at the Pew Charitable Trusts, where she manages government relations for Pew.
Tamara, why don't you give your opening presentation?
Great. Thank you very much, and great to see everybody. Thank you for giving me a job.
Tamara Lozado made an appearance in John Podesta's leaked emails. Here she writes to John Podesta, quote, "We plan to heat the pool, so a swim is a possibility. Bonnie will be Uber service to transport Ruby Emerson and Meve Luzado, 11, 9, and almost 7. So you'll have some further entertainment, and they will be in that pool for sure." The way you perceive this email might depend on how you perceive Evie's Crib, a family blog that was ran by the same Tamara Luzado and a related blog called Jack's Place. Notice the labels on Tamara's blog, which are used to help visitors find what they want. To name a few, baby Ambien, bones, filth, parental manipulation, psychopath, tranquilizers, slurp. In this post, Tamara writes, Evie will be joined in childcare by her buddy Jack, who she links here. This image on Jack's Place shows their baby with a censor over his privates. Ken and Stephanie, who apparently ran this page, comment below, quote, "Unrated versions of this photo available only to premium subscribers." Jokes or otherwise, this is still more of the same deviant debauchery associated with infants and children coming from this group, and by this group, I mean the single most powerful people in the world. These families belong to vast, extended genealogies, and they fund and control the same non-profit organizations. For example, among Oceana Inc.'s board of directors include the Rockefeller family, a family almost always found near the most peculiar and powerful historical events and organizations. The TerraMar Project and those associated with it is like a who's who of the world's global elite. Next, you're going to tell me that TerraMar is associated with the Clinton dynasty, right? Military officer Scott Borgerson was listed as a board member of the TerraMar Project in 2013.
So I'd like to begin with the topic of public-private partnerships.
Scott is the CEO of Cargo Metrics, a maritime innovation company attempting to, quote, digitize global shipping. The word maritime refers to seafaring commercial or military activity, and, quote, maritime transport has to do with the transport of goods or people via waterways. What separates Scott's maritime transport methods from others is its focus on artificial intelligence with the goal of creating fully autonomous giant industrial self-driving ships, with particular focus on the international, quote, race for the Arctic.
So the Arctic again is becoming central as the ice recedes, opens up these oil and gas resources, and the potential for shipping shortcuts as well. I think that there's little clandestine activity happening in the Arctic, but the truth is we don't really know because the United States and Canada aren't really sure what ships are transiting there now. But I think it's a bit of a stretch to say that Al-Qaeda or international terrorism or other transnational crimes such as drugs or human trafficking will go through the Arctic because it's such a long, arduous, still cold place.
Why is this group so focused on the Arctic Ocean?
I would say a master plan would work because it would force capital and finance ministers and governors to and presidents to get together to make the basic projects in the Arctic happen.
My normal day starts waking up quite early, maybe about 5 o'clock. Get my emails done in bed generally before Joan wakes up. Then I try to keep up with the news because we've got 1 or 2 organizations that are doing global issues, so it's very important I know what's going on in the world.
The Podesta leaks revealed that Richard Branson met often with his friends Hillary Clinton and John Podesta. And Branson's Necker Island is directly next to Epstein's Little St. James Island. Even The Guardian reported that Epstein had Branson's personal phone number. One section of Branson's island is called the Elders' Temple, a location where many older and still powerful people meet up to discuss their, quote, philanthropic endeavors.
We hope you enjoy your flight with Virgin Atlantic and hope to be there in approximately 35. Are we there yet? Thank you and enjoy your holiday.
Branson's plane company is partnered with the Radcliffe Foundation, which is owned by Frank Giustra, who created the Elpida Project, the logo of which bears a striking resemblance to the boy lover pedophile symbol.
I'd like to introduce some new students, Mr. Black and Mr. White.
No way! The government cheated, sent to steal our experiments for their secret covert operations.
No, dude, we're here for a righteous education and to meet babes.
Silly me. Wrong program. I tracked Bling Bling Boy to his parents' private island, 30 miles off the coast.
I've seen enough to be confident in the postulation that TerraMar was set up to create a kind of separate society, or to facilitate one that already exists, a new world with its own laws, the locations of which scattered across several privately owned islands and clandestine sections of the Arctic Ocean, some of which could potentially be underwater. Human trafficking on a global scale, involving internationally connected intelligence agencies, politicians, and billionaires. I don't pretend to know why trafficking children seems to be a requisite for this elite group, but the reality that such an operation exists is undeniable to me. If the censorship regarding this topic should tell us anything, it's that we're almost certainly onto something unbelievably big. I truly believe this to be the case. I truly believe there are children currently surviving circumstances at the hands of evil, and suffering at a rate the likes of which I don't think I have the ability to properly imagine. And a large part of me feels my videos on this topic are not actually helping children currently in harm's way, but simply revealing how seemingly impossible it is to do so. While this could be true, our brief pain of feeling unable to help pales in comparison to the suffering endured by children all over the world who are at this very moment truly defenseless and truly suffering. If nothing else, what's most important is knowing in our hearts this is real and happening now, because it's only from there that progress can begin. So I ask, what do you think about Maxwell's TerraMar Project? What does your heart tell you?
For a better